Hi there, hello everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial. In this week I am going to paint a nice little snow scene, a kind of a sunsetty snow scene with some fir trees, because there was a request for some fir trees. So I said I'll do a nice little painting this week for you, just to give you my take on fir trees and how I paint those types of trees, perhaps with a little bit of snow on them or something like that. So yeah, we're going to have a nice warm painting this week. Again, thank you very, very much for all your support. You've been very, very helpful and very kind and very patient with me. I know I'm still kind of getting to grips with these tutorials and, you know, different camera angles, that type of thing. So I appreciate your patience and I am trying to get them as good as I can. Okay, now with the new camcorder, it's completely different to using the smartphone, in the sense that the viewing angle is a lot wider. Colours are a lot different, a lot sharper, a lot crisper, so I'm still kind of experimenting with the camera to try and get some decent, good shots of the canvas and the palette. Okay, so I appreciate your patience. I know it can be frustrating at times if it shakes or if it's not edited properly. Also, I have a new editing program which I'm going to try out for this tutorial, so I hope it works, I hope it gives you a good result. So we will see, fingers crossed. Okay, so again, thank you for all your comments and all your support and on Patreon. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate your support and your help that you're giving me. Brushes. I got a delivery of these brushes. Okay, but there's not enough to go around for everyone, because after I ordered the brushes, I ordered about 20 of them, I think, 20 or 25 of them, different sizes. I was waiting about a week and a half to 2 weeks to get them, but in that time I had lots more requests for brushes again, so I'm going to have to go back in and order another big bulk of them, perhaps 30 of them or something, and they'll give me a bit of a discount on them, hopefully. So I sent some brushes off to some of you. We were looking for kind of 2 or 3 brushes of each size, so they went down very, very quickly. The stock just kind of disappeared almost immediately when I got them. So I have another order, another big batch on order, so another week perhaps, if you're still waiting for brushes. I will let you know as soon as I get these in, and I'll get a good big order this time, so I'll have enough for all of you to go around. Okay, they're very popular, they can't be got anywhere else. Even the lady in the art store told me that they can't be found anywhere else for some strange reason. I don't know why, but they're the only crowd, they're the only store that seems to get them. So yeah, they told me they'd order a big batch for me and they'll let me know sometime next week when they have them. Alright, so I appreciate your patience if you're waiting for brushes. I know it can be frustrating, but you know, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. So look, let's crack on with this tutorial here, have a bit of fun with this nice warm sunsetty colours now on this, and I'll give you my take on painting fir trees. Alright, so don't go anywhere. Okay, so here we go. I have a quick sketch here. Now my canvas is 16 by 12, so 16 wide by 12 high. And I have a very rough sketch, just to outline the hills, the trees and where the snow ends. That's it, just a couple of scribbles. Okay. My palette, I have titanium white, cadmium yellow pale hue, I have some burnt sienna. I might not need it, but it's there just for the sky, to warm some parts of the sky, perhaps, we'll see. I have some cadmium red, I have some burnt umber, I have some Natal crimson in case I want to get some nice pinks, some phthalo blue, and lamp black or ivory black, and Naples yellow. So that's it. I might not use all of these colours, but I want to put them there, just an extra 1 or 2, save me doing it later. Okay, so here we go. Now you should see the picture here on your screen, right there. It's a lovely picture of a lovely kind of a sunsetty, cool sunset sky with some nice snow on those fir trees, and there's one big one in the front here. So yeah, it's going to be a nice little tutorial, and let's see how we get on with this. Right, I'm going to take, for the sky, my normal green stubby brush. Alright. This one I have, I think since the very, very beginning of all of these tutorials. And you can see it's fairly battered, isn't it? There's not a whole lot left in that now, but I'll get lots of nice trees with that. So here we go with the sky. Now you can see on the sky there's a nice blue up on the right hand side, and it gets very, very soft as it comes down. So I'm going to dip my brush into some turpentine. Okay, it's soaking wet now. Then I'm going to just dry it on a little tissue. Now I have tissue down next to the jar there, but I'm going to show you. I have it in my hand. Right, I'm just going to dab, just take the excess off, so it's still nice and damp. So let's take a touch of blue. Now this Phthalo blue is very strong, so just a little. And you can see now how wet that is. It's almost like a watercolour, but then the white will thicken it very, very thick. See? Now I'm going to keep the blue on this painting nice and warm. So because this Phthalo blue is so cold, I'm going to add a little touch of red to this. Now we have two choices, cadmium or Natal Crimson, or let's just call it Crimson. I think I'll go with Natal. Just a touch, just to warm it up. Let's try this. That's a nice colour now, isn't it? There we go. And it's quite wet now, but it will thicken. I will thicken it as I go. So I tend to start off with very thin mixes at the very beginning, just to cover the canvas. And then I put thicker paint on top of that. So it's a nice warm blue, as you can see. Let's have a look at this now. Okay, that's not a bad colour. Take some more blue. I'm going to blue it up slightly in this corner here, because it is quite strong up there. There we go. And then as it comes down, now I've dampened my brush just very slightly again, because as I said, I'm keeping these mixes quite thin at the beginning. So I'm going to start putting more red into this now, so it's not so much blue. It's more of a kind of a warm blue. There's a kind of a hint of pink in this blue now. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's there. It's a very warm blue. Soften all that together now. And as we come further down, I'm going to darken it even, or I'm going to warm it even more. So the further down it comes, the more red I'm going to add to this mix. So let's try that. Let's take some more white, plenty of white all the time, and let's take a touch of that crimson colour. Now you can see it's very thick, so I'm going to just dip the corner of my brush, just the corner, into the turf, just to pick up a little, only a tiny, tiny, tiny amount. And now we have a pink. I'm going to soften that pink up into that blue, and I'm going to mix them all together. There. And you can see now how thin this paint is. It's really thin. Again, I've primed my canvas twice, my canvas board. So I gave it 2 coats of my own primer. And it's just regular undercoat, water-based undercoat, with some PVA glue and a good drop of water, just to thin it down slightly. And that's my own primer then. It's just like a gesso really, but it's much smoother, I find, and I find the paint moves around a lot more on it. So there, I just added a bit of white into that, and you can, I don't know if you can hear or not, my dog is out there. We got a new pup recently, a little Shih Tzu, and he's out there now outside the studio, whinging and whining to come in, but he's not coming in here. Oh no. And we're still trying to house train him at the moment, so it's pretty exciting. You know, dogs can be messy, but it's great company. I love animals. I really love animals. They're great company to have around the house. So carrying on all the way down, and I'm going to keep this nice and thick now at the bottom. So let me just take some white. I'm softening some white into that pink. I already have some pink on my brush, by the way. Just going to soften all that in, and we can even go over our hills as well in the distance. Okay. And there's a reason why I put so much pink down here, because I'm putting some yellows in a minute, and I don't want anything going green on me. So that's why I put plenty of pink colouring. Because if we put blue colouring and we try to put yellow over it, it's going to end up kind of a green, isn't it? So I was being very careful with that. Now I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush. I'll go for, let me have a look here now. Look, there's loads of brushes here now. Let's have a look. We'll go for this one here. I want to start adding some warm colours at the bottom of this. I'm going to dampen it and dry it well. And I'm going to take some Naples yellow, some cadmium red this time. Now, more red than anything else, okay? There's just a hint of Naples in this. So we've a warm, kind of a salmony kind of a colour. And just down at the end here, I'm going to just pop that in here and there. Soften it down and soften it over to the pink. And so that's going to mix on the canvas, giving some lovely different shades and hues. Look at that. That's nice. There we go. I'm going to give that a quick clean, and then I'm going to start putting some yellow. There's some very rich yellow now just in the centre where the sun is. So a little touch of cadmium and a little touch of that crimson, let's say, just to warm it very slightly. I'm just start off with this warm colour just for now. I'm going to soften that in very gently. You see? I'm kind of dragging the brush along here now. There we go. Softening up. I'm not going up into that blue. I'm keeping it away from the blue. So let me just take a soft brush now and soften this very gently just there, look. There we go. That's all. Right, how are we looking? Okay, I think that's the background of the sky pretty much finished. We can now switch to a small brush. A small flat, a little flat brush. Let's see now, we have a couple of different sizes here. I think I'll go with this one first. It's a little bit splayed out, so we might get some nice clouds with this. Dampen it and dry it. So it's fairly dry now. And I'm going to make a nice little blue for these clouds, a warm colour. So let's take some phthalo blue, and let's take some of that crimson colour. I think the two of those on their own should be okay. I'll take a touch of white. Now, it probably looks a little bit plummy for me, just for now. So I'll touch more blue. And with that colour, I'm just going to go over here and there's a kind of a bluey cloud up here. So I'll just add a couple of those in. And again, I'm avoiding the yellow if I can. I don't want any green on this canvas. I'm going to bring another little bit down like that. So a little couple of flicks. There's one up there, kind of creeping down into the sky. And again, I'm using my own imagination here. I'm not going to copy the photograph exactly, but at the same time, you know, I do want to get a fairly decent representation of what we're painting. Does that make sense? So now I'm adding more red to this because I'm coming over to the yellow, so I want nice, warm, rich clouds. There we go, just like that. And I'm going to bring this one up here and give it a couple of little flicks here and there, look. Okay, let me just thicken this down very slightly. So you can see now it goes from a pink into a blue, doesn't it? And I'm now going to switch brushes. I have a nice flat brush with a flat tip on it here, and I'm going to take some of the crimson with some Naples yellow, and I'm just going to try that for a moment. Let me see what kind of a colour that gives me. That's a nice warm colour there, and I'm going to just start introducing some of that into the sky, and I'm doing horizontal strokes left and right, because clouds, when they're off in the distance, they get very kind of horizontal, don't they? So you're not going to have big fluffy clouds off in the distance, and this is how I will create some distance in my painting. You see, everything is nice and horizontal. Now, just suggesting some kind of clouds off in the distance. That's all I'm doing, and I'm going to put a couple more here. Look, a couple of little wiggles here and there. And I can put a couple up here. And make it your own. Don't be shy. This is your painting, you can do what you like with it. Take a bit more blue. I'm going to darken this just here. Now, okay, some more warm colour. Naples yellow with a crimson. And let's go down here. I'm going to put some very rich yellow in here now very soon, okay? Right, what I want to do is take that crimson and some white, and a hint of blue, just a hint. And with that colour, I'm going to come up here and bring some of these clouds kind of swooping down. So you know those kind of clouds that are very far off in the distance, very high up in the sky. I'm going to put some of them in here. Soften them in them with your fingers, look. Soften them right down. So they're swooping down across the sky. And I'm going to add some more blue to that. Give it a little bit of a kick. Yeah, how about that? That's quite nice, isn't it? And put another little one just here. Then I'm going to take a bit of blue into that mix, and I'm going to give that a little shadow. Now, we need to be quite strong with these shadows. Let's take a hint of black in that blue, and let's try that. Look, a little bit of shadow just here and there. And then you can soften it all together with your fingers, look. And that's the beauty about oils, you can soften all these colours together. If this was acrylics, now it would be possible with acrylics, but it would be a lot more difficult, I would imagine. I did use acrylics for a long time, for a lot of years, and I just found because they dried so quickly, it just made life very difficult. But that's just my opinion, that's all. I know there are a lot of people out there who love acrylics. Again, everyone is different, aren't they? So now I'm just going to soften these with my finger. And you can see now the canvas underneath is actually beginning to dry very quickly. And that's because of the heat in here inside in this studio. It's very hot in here. And just let me soften some of these down here if they're still wet enough. There we go. And I'm going to hit some nice rich yellow now just in the centre there to give the impression of the lovely rich sun right in the middle. Some cadmium yellow pale, and I'm going to take a hint of that crimson, just a hint. And I'm going to come along here and look. A couple of little wiggles of that in, just here and there. That's a nice rich colour now, isn't it? Okay. So how was that? How was that looking? Now I might give the clouds a little bit of light. So a little bit of white there, tiny bit of blue, and I might just suggest a couple of highlights. Look, a couple of subtle highlights. And I'll be very careful now not to overdo this. There we are, a couple there, and I'm going to put one or two light ones under this. So perhaps some white with little crimson, and I'll just give it a little wiggle, see? And then soften it back in then with your finger. Have a bit of fun. There. And that's a nice sky, I think. Now there's one thing I would like to do, it's not on the photograph, but just down under this cloud, just add a little bit of light, just here and there, look. Where the sun is probably catching the cloud, catching the bottom of the cloud. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's fine. So what do we think? Is that a nice simple sky? I think it is. We'll leave it as it is. I will not overdo it, I want to keep it simple. So next we have mountains here, which I suppose they're trees, but I'll try and create the impression of trees off in the distance, okay? Let's try it. I'm just cleaning my flat brush that I had. Okay, this flat brush. And I'm going to take some blue. And again, I'm keeping all these colours warm to complement the sky. So I'm putting plenty of red in these colours. A little bit of crimson. I think we should try perhaps a touch of cadmium as well. We'll give cadmium red a chance. And there we go. A little bit of blue, bit of red. And let's have a look at this now. Let's just have a look first and see what we think. I always like to test it out slightly first. Now, okay, I'm just going to put in these headings. Dab, dab, dab. The sun comes down like this, doesn't it? Put that in. Then we have another. I'm going to make this one slightly more pink because I want these to go off into the distance. Another one coming over here, and of course I want to show the sun coming through the trees as well, so I just added a little more red into this, that's all. Bring that right down there. Then I want to do another one with very warm colours. Little bit of red, little bit of white, and let's say a touch of, let's take a touch of Naples. Very pale one off in the distance. Now I know it looks a bit blue on the photograph, but I'm using my initiative here. I'm using my own imagination for these colours. I'm not going to copy the photograph exactly. And I know I keep saying it, but you don't really have to copy the photograph exactly as it is. Just make it your own. Don't be worried if it's not exactly how you planned it would be. You know, this might not turn out the way I want it to turn out. But I'm going to have fun trying it. That's all that matters to me. Let's take some more blue, some more red. And I'm going to take a touch, this time, a touch of black. I'm just going to darken this down here. And I'm going to soften it upwards then. There we go, you see. And I'm going to do the same with the one here. And keeping the front edge of this, the shape of it, you can see. There we are. So we're beginning to see these hills in the distance start to form, aren't we? Now, to create some little bits of snow on this, but now, I mean, you get away with it as it is, but I'd like to create a suggestion of little bits of snow on some of these, here and there. Now, I don't want a completely flat brush. I want a brush which is only very slightly splayed, very slightly. So even that now is too much splayed out. You could try a fan brush, but that might be a bit too thick. See, this is the fun. This is the fun about it, trying different things. And this is what I do with every painting. I'm just basically trying and seeing how it works out. Now, what about this little flat brush? I think we'll try this. Okay, I don't want to dampen it. I just want to keep it nice and dry. And I'm going to take some white. And I might just take a touch of either blue or pink. Let's see. Perhaps a touch of blue. The slightest touch. Okay? And I have all this paint now on the top of my bristles. See? Can you see that? The very tip. And let's try it. I'm going to start with the outside edge here of this hill. Or this one. Look, we'll start with this one actually. And I'm just going to dab vertically. Okay? Look. Dab, 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 dab. Can you see what I'm doing? And let's add a touch on the one there off in the distance. Let's just give that a little bit. So why not? Now, how does that look? I think we'll get away with that, will we? With this one, I'm going to add a touch of red. Again, the slightest touch. And let's try again. And I'm only really trying to suggest the tips of the trees kind of poking up. Does that make sense? I'm going up at an angle as well because the hill is falling this way, so everything is going to kind of come down at an angle. Now on the photograph you can see it doesn't really show that, but I'm going to accentuate that on the painting. I'm going to make it my own basically. Is that okay? There, see? And I'm softening each one then down into the dark area below. There. That'll do fine. It's just a suggestion, it's only an impression, that's all this is. Now, let's concentrate on these trees here. I'm going to start by taking a big brush first, okay? And I made these now a bit higher than they are in the photograph. So I'm using this brush again, and the very same colours that we made for this. Let's take some blue, some crimson, and just tiny bit of white in that. So some blue, some crimson, and a touch of black, wasn't it? A hint of black. So 3 colours with a bit of white, and I'm just going to fill in the bulk of the tree area with this colour. I'll go along and do the tips in a minute with a small brush. Alright? I might take a touch of burnt umber as well. Now, go along and fill this in. And we can make it warmer if we like as well as we go. So you could add different colours as you go. Okay, let's keep going with this. By the way, I hope you're getting lovely hints and tips from these tutorials, because that's the whole point of these, and that's the only reason I'm doing these. I'm doing these to try and give beginners out there, and amateur artists alike, I suppose, just kind of basic hints and tips on getting started with oils and doing nice paintings with easy techniques. And that's what I'm trying to achieve, and I think it's working. I really do. Well, I hope it is. I do hope. Let me know what you think. So let's take some black, and I'm going to take a touch of red. I'm just going to darken this down and towards the bottom. And I'm just kind of trying different things here as I go as well. So there's no specific set of rules when painting like this. I don't go by a certain structure. I just try different things and hope it works. That's what I do. Right, I'm going to take, then I'll go back to this brush. Okay, so the one that we used for the white, and let's take some more of that colour there. Some red, some blue, touch of black. I'm just going to create the tips of these trees here. They're basically just kind of points, look, you see? And they just get slightly wider as they come down. There we are. And you can do them sideways like this if you want. Okay, left and right. I'm not worried about the shape of these trees just yet. I'm just going to fill them in with this, and I'll worry about the snow and stuff later. Okay, I'll be putting snow on these very, very soon. So that's all I'm worried about for now. Just getting these points in. Right, there we go. Now, putting snow on these. I suppose there's a number of different ways you can do this. You can do it the classic way of the fan brush, right? But these are a little small, I think, for a fan brush. You could go like this, I suppose. Let's try it. Let me get some more pink out, some more crimson. So you could use it to fan brush. You could use something, I suppose, something like this. So I'm going to try some different ways here, okay? Let's just take a little bit of red and mix it into that pink. Or that white. Let's get a nice bright pink for this. Okay. We need some white paint. There we go. Now plenty of white, loads of it. Let's take some white, mix that in here, and with the very corner of the brush, let's just suggest some snow on these. Now it's only very, very subtle. Okay, so you could go like that. But I find the fan brush is very sort of very harsh. Do you understand? I do find it very, very harsh. So I'm going to switch brushes. I might even try this one. The one that I've used all the time. A simple flat brush. And let's try this. Let's see what happens. There. How's that? Look at that. That's quite nice, isn't it? And I'm bringing everything to a point. See? Everything is going to a point, and that's pretty much how I would paint these fir trees. So just have a bit of fun, mess around with these colours. And let's try a touch of blue with some white. That might make a nice cool colour. Let's try that. Ah, there we go. That's a nice cool colour, isn't it? So I'm just going left and then right, or right and then left, whichever is easier for you. Okay, there we are. And let's try one here. Up on the left, up on the right, and up on the left. And we have another one in front of that here. So just nice simple fir trees. Let's bring them down here, look. How's that looking? So you see, a simple technique, nice easy technique. Now I want to cut in under some of this with some snow, and I want to make it quite cool, because it's very cool on the picture. So I'm going to take some white, plenty of white, a good bit of blue, and some red. And let me just try this now for a moment. That's not a bad colour there. So let's put this in underneath. So I always start off with a dark shade, you see? And then I'm going to cut down in front of those, like that. Now, you can see some green there because there was green on my brush, or yellow rather. So I'm just going to clean that, go back in with some white and take a bit more red, and that will neutralise the green. There, see? So I'm going to mix up plenty of that colour now. Some blue, some red, plenty of white, and let's go up here. There we are, that's a lovely colour. So it's coming along nicely, isn't it? Right, I start brightening it as I go, so adding more pink to the mix. As I come down further, I'm just going to start brightening this with more white and more red. Okay. And it's just a nice simple tutorial on painting these types of trees easily. You don't have to use very complicated methods. I love creating something in an easy technique and showing someone that it doesn't have to be very, very difficult to paint a tree or a house or a river or a reflection. It does not have to be very, very difficult. Now, you see, I make it nice and pinky down towards the front here. Soften that together. And I'm going to create some light now on the snow. And what I mean by that is some light from the sunset kind of hitting the snow here and there. So I'm taking some, with the same brush, take a good dollop of white, some Naples yellow, and some of that crimson. And that should give us a nice sunlit kind of a colour. And just here and there, look, I'm going to pop that on across the snow. Yeah, look at that. Creating a kind of a glow here and there. See? That looks cool, doesn't it? Now I want to continue with some of these trees just down here and there, over that snow. So I'm just going to take more of that dark colour, okay, just for a moment. So some blue, some red, a little touch of black perhaps. And I'm going to continue some of that down, because I want some of these trees to come down past that snow bank just there, okay? Just one or two of them. Now, clean my brush well on my tissue, give it a good scrub, dip it in the turps, give it a good scrub on the tissue, okay? And let's go back in and get some more white with that bit of pink, and let's bring them down further, see? There we go. Rightio. Let's take a small brush, small pointy brush, dampen your brush and get some burnt umber and a touch of black. And let's put a couple of little stalks just here and there. See? Just like that. And try to keep the stalks slightly, the tree trunks rather, slightly thicker at the bottom. So there's a slight little splay outwards at the bottom there. And then I'm going to take my small flat brush and I'm going to create some little shadow just around that area. So let's look, we can even use our dark colour which we had. I'm just going to soften some of that in just here and there. So that's creating a little shadow just under those trees. And look, soften them with just soft brush. There now, how's that looking? And of course, if you want, you can put a little light on there. It's completely up to yourself. Okay. Just a hint, just a very, very small hint of colour. And then we have our big tree just there, don't we? So let's take slightly bigger round brush for that. Some burnt umber and a little black. Nice simple mix, brown and black. Nice and thin. And let's go around here and put nice big thick tree trunk in just here. And it's nice that it's picking up the colours you see underneath, so we're getting some different shades. Isn't that lovely? And then I'm going to create a little shadow with my paint again, my dark. So let's take this brush again and create a dark mix for this big tree here. So some crimson, some phthalo blue, and a touch of black there, look. So let's go and create the dark side of this tree. And don't worry too much now if it kind of blends into the colour behind. That's absolutely fine. Just bring it right up like this. Okay. There we go. So because the brushes are slightly kind of flat, they give that nice kind of rigid kind of an edge to the tree as well. And I'm going to just make some more of that. There we go. Dab, dab, dab. All the way up. And we got a nice little pointy area just on top there. We can use a small brush now for the pointy area as well, okay? So don't worry too much if it's not exactly as you want it to look. Once it's nice and wide at the bottom, that's fine. That's all you need. And then I'll switch to my small flat brush and give that just a little point up there. So now our white foliage on this. So I think I'll start off with this brush, and I might finish up then with some on the pointy brush, just for some little detail. So I'm going to mix now a nice kind of, let me get some more paint out here. I might put a nice pink on this. So where the sun is catching on this side, I'm going to make a nice warm colour. So with pink, Naples yellow, and plenty of white, loads and loads of white. With that, I'm going to just catch some of the tips of the leaves here with that colour, you see? Now be careful with the yellow that's in it, because you don't want it going green again. So I'm cleaning my brush every time, just the tip of the brush. Okay, clean it then again. You can see the dirt on the tip of the brush. You can see that? Where is this? There we go. So I'm just going to wipe that little bit of dirt off, just with my little bit of tissue. I'll show you. Okay, very gently, just on the tip of the brush. And then go back in and pick up more. So as we come around, it's going to cool slightly as I'm coming around the tree. I'm going to put some blue into that. So some pink, some blue, and lots of white. So now we have a nice kind of a violet type of colour, don't we? And I'm just dabbing down with the corner of the flat edge of the brush. Just like so. And this is really fun trying this. And you know, it might not look exactly like the photograph, but I don't want it to look exactly like the photograph, do I? I want it to look different. And this is going to look absolutely stunning when it's framed, I reckon. Now you can give them a little flick also. Okay, so look, a little flick just at the ends. So now let's move on to our little pointy brush, our small pointy brush. Give it a wipe, and let's add just some plain white here and there. So let's just have a look here now at the leaves. Little touches of white, look. Just here and there. And this is really fun doing this. So this is just a kind of a quick tutorial, just to kind of show you how I would simplify a scene like this. So take what you will from it. It's entirely up to yourself what you get from this tutorial, if you get anything at all. But you know, thank you for watching at least, and thank you for allowing me to share my painting ability with you all, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Okay, there we go. And let me see now, what will we put into this? Can we put something else into this? Let's put someone walking through the snow, shall we? Let's take a touch of red. So, how do we paint a person? Do you know? Do you remember what I told you the last time? Yes, that's right, a carrot. So think of a carrot, the outline of a carrot. So let's go, I won't go right in the middle. I was thinking about scale also. I'll just go around here, look. So let's paint a red carrot. So I'm going to do the top half red, and I'm going to do the bottom half black. There we go. And let's make it a bit wider, just slightly. And let's put some hair on the guy, or the woman. It could be a man or a woman, I don't know. Let's make it a woman, shall we? Let's put a little tail on that hair there, see? And then let's put a little cap on the lady. I'm going to put a bit of dark on one side here, and a little bit of light on this side here. Then a couple of small marks in the snow. Okay, just to suggest where she came from. See? Very, very, very loose suggestion. I'm going to put a tiny, tiny bit of shadow also. I think she needs a bit of shadow, don't she? There we go, just underneath. So how about that? Now I might darken the tree trunk here just slightly. There we go. Very, very slightly, only just. And how are we looking? So isn't that quite nice? Now let me zoom in with the camera and show you everything close up. Okay? Now, so you can see now the nice light we have hitting the snow there. A couple of footprints through the snow, nice and simple. And zoom in, you can see a little carrot, a little cap, and that's our big tree that we just did. Isn't that lovely? It's simple, but it works, I think. And some trees off in the distance. And we kept them nice and simple, didn't we? So, how was that? There. So let me just turn this around again so you can see me here. There we go. I'm messing around with this DIY thing that I have, and it's okay, it does the job. Now, there we go. I hope you enjoyed it, because I enjoyed painting that. That was lovely. Nice warm colours, complementing colours, so yellows and pinks, oranges and pinks, that type of thing, oranges, blues. So lots of complementary colours in that. I hope you've got something from it. I hope you've enjoyed watching me, as you do every single week. I know you're out there watching, eagerly waiting for new tutorials. Thank you so much for all your support. I really, really do appreciate everything. Every bit of help you're giving me really means a huge amount, as it all goes towards materials and brushes and paints, all that type of stuff. So if you're looking for brushes, let me know. StephenConway12@gmail.com. I'll do my best to try and get them brushes to you. If you're still waiting to hear back from me about the brushes, don't worry, I haven't forgotten, okay? When I get the brushes, you will be the first to know, I promise. So again, thank you to everyone. Thank you on Patreon. You see all the links in the description if you want to support me anyway at all. Anyway, listen, thank you very, very much. It's been a huge privilege painting for you this week. Keep it nice and simple. Just simplify it. And don't be worried if it doesn't turn out exactly as you want it to turn out, okay? It's painting, it's only paint and canvas. Don't be too shy. Don't be afraid to make a mess of it. Because God knows I've made a mess of plenty of paintings in the past, and they've just went into the wheelie bin. And that's it. Long gone and forgotten. And just start again. So just have a bit of fun and smile when you're painting, okay? I'll see you next week. Thank you very, very much, and God bless.